years ago, I ran across a quote from the novelist Anita Bruckner, not reading her novels, but Father Ron Rolheiser's Reflections. He's much more well-read than I am. And I believe we considered this a little bit then. And I thought with today's scriptures, it was a good opportunity to revisit maybe a little bit more deeply this idea of disappointment in love. Anita Bruckner says, according to Father Ron, several times across her novels, that it is a couple's first responsibility in marriage to console each other for the fact that they cannot not disappoint each other. And that sounds a little bit sad, but maybe it's more beautiful than it looks on the surface. We do find disappointment in all of our relationships, in our friendships, in our spiritual connections, in our marriages, because our longing is larger than these earthly and temporary symbols sacraments can fill. That God made us for himself, and in heaven will come that great canyon of our heart will be filled. But in this life, we'll never completely fill our longing. And that is our reality. Sometimes in the heat of a moment, in young love, in strong emotions, in a great spiritual affinity, we think that we're promised that this union will be complete. But our union will only be complete in God. And what happens when we don't acknowledge this? I wanted to talk about it again to make sure that at some level we all acknowledge this reality of our longing that's bigger than another can fill. That the person we love has a longing bigger than we can satisfy. That in acknowledging this, we avoid a very serious problem. And that's the problem of expecting the other to completely fill my needs, my longing. Because when we have that expectation, unrealistic as it is, we become angry and bitter. And it's only when we begin to understand and accept our inadequacy and the inadequacy of the people that we love, that we can truly console one another that for this inadequacy. And our friendships, our love, our marriages can grow in that mutual care. Not complete, not perfect, but real and caring. And we'll overcome the bitterness, we'll overcome the anger that arises when our expectations aren't met, because we'll come to recognize what we're able to do and what the ones we love are able to offer. So rather than demand to not be disappointed, and in that grow in anger and bitterness, maybe we can, with an even greater love, console one another when our inadequacy leads to disappointment, when our inadequacy inevitably leads to disappointment.